pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order. Need motion to accept the agenda. Okay, motion by Shelley, supported by Chris. First thing on the agenda.
We're at Jefferson visiting. Mr. Huber, would you like to welcome us to your school?
Well, you beat me to the punch, yes. Welcome to Jefferson. As you can see, there's a lot on the agenda tonight, a lot of fun things to talk about in the elementary world. So first up, if you work at Jefferson or come here during the day, can you stand up so we can recognize you? Real quick. Don't be shy. This is a great It truly is amazing to walk through the halls every day and see everything that's going on and the work that's going on with kids on a one-to-one and group level. It's a great place. It's a fun place. I encourage you to walk around and see everything that's going on. I know we have some things about Jefferson we're going to talk about, but I also know that Madison is here. They're kind of party crashing today. But I know they got a great, this is a tough act to follow. So we want to lead off with them. I know they got some things to do.
Yes, thank you. And these are future Jefferson students in not too long. And this is about half of our class. This is about half of them, so it's great. Thank you, parents, for coming and bringing them in. We've been working all year on this poetry. We have a huge collection that we've been working on, and we're practicing all the time reciting. So we'd love to share with you. You're our biggest audience so far. So we're going to knock your socks off of what we've been doing. So we're going to arrange ourselves in front here, and then we'll get started. Okay?
You guys got to come around. You guys see the hand motion.
Yeah.
This is Miss Fisher from the Madison Elementary School kindergarten staff. Matt, Keith, over there. Again, they've been practicing these all year long. About a week or so ago, they came to the office and it's like, they did such an outstanding job, we had to get them a bigger audience. So they could be on the next America's Got Talent. They're that good.
Yeah, they're very excited. So again, thanks for letting us come in. And it's of course they're adorable up here, but there's a lot of benefits to learning this poetry. And some of them are, I just want to go over a few, 5 different things. One of the great things one of the benefits is that poetry and rhymes help develop rhythm. And you'll notice that as they're saying it together. So we're going to start with, I rode a rainbow unicorn. Go ahead.
I rode a rainbow unicorn, we sailed across the sky. I fed him lots of Skittles since they always make him fly. We took off like a comet on a long and graceful flight, and everywhere the people stopped and marveled at the sight. Its path was bright and colorful, its sparkled, shimmered, shine, as he arced across the heavens, shooting rainbows from behind.
And that is actually, we learned that one special for our secretary, Mrs. Miller, because we recite to her every month our newest poems, and she kind of snacks on Skittles here and there throughout the day. So we learned that one special for her. Our next one is, and we do seasonal poems too, so this one is from Thanksgiving, but it's one they still love. It's called Thanksgiving Feast.
Born is the pumpkin, yellow is the corn, brown is the turkey with stuffing to adorn. Red are the cranberries, green are the beans, 5 delicious colors in the feast of my dreams.
And another one. And another benefit to learning these poems too is that they help develop phonemic awareness, which is like a precursor to reading too. So here's one called The Earth that we learned around Earth Day. Go ahead, The Earth.
The earth is my home, I promise to keep it healthy and beautiful. I will love the land, the air, the water, all the living
go.
One spring day, the winter sun, we get loud just for fun. That's our great crowd, thundering rise, gathering up on all outside. But when the sun keeps out from sunset low, together they make a bright rainbow.
And another benefit of learning all these poems is that they help with obviously memorization skills, which help them with learning new languages, reading comprehension, and math. And here's another one that we learned that goes a lot. We usually say it before we do the Pledge of Allegiance every day in our classroom. It's called My Flag.
Here is my flag, it's red, white, and blue. It stands for freedom and all that is true. And that's why each day I say the pledge loud, as I stand straight and tall to show that I'm proud.
And these poetry and rhymes, they also help develop self-expressions. And they express themselves, you know, sometimes they're showing they're sad, or there's humorous poems they love to learn, or poems where they're maybe furious, and they love to show, they like to express themselves with these poems too. The next one is called Animal Crackers.
Today I ate a lion, and then a tall giraffe. But when I ate an elephant, it really made me laugh. And the feeling is funny that I ate such a meal. They are animal crackers that I ate, and none of them were real.
And this winter we learned one called Snowball, and this is another one that's quite humorous. Snowball.
And made myself a snowball, as perfect as could be. I thought I'd keep it as a pet and let it sleep with me. I gave it some pajamas and a pillow for its head. Then last night it ran away, but first it went to bed.
And the next one is called Five Little People, and you'll really see some expressions in this poem. Five Little People.
Five little people went out to play. The first one said, "Do it my way." The second one said, "That's not fair." The third one said, "I don't care." The fourth one said, "This isn't fun." The fifth one said, "Our game is done." So five little people all walked away. They never even got to play.
And we've got a couple more for you, and I just want to point out one last benefit. These poems help develop physical awareness too. And that's where they're using gestures and the facial expressions to connect with the audience. So our next one is I'm Waiting for a Rainbow.
I'm waiting for a rainbow. I'm waiting for the sun. I'm waiting for the rain to stop so I can play and run. I know I should be patient, but waiting's such a pain. I guess I'll have to pass the time appreciating rain.
And our last poem is called Leaves.
Little leaves fall gently down, red and yellow, orange and brown, whirling, whirling around and around, quietly without a sound, falling softly to the ground, down and down and down and down.
So obviously this is, like I said, our biggest audience yet, and obviously speaking in front of the group at this kind of practice makes them more comfortable talking to people and networking someday. So hopefully you enjoyed our presentation, and thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah.
So just a quick note on the first two presentations you're going to see. In fact, just last week we were down in Chicago, we had a presentation, and Kimberly and Michelle helped me to do one-of-a-kind type of training that's taking place, at least in our part of the country. So we've had an Apple trainer in Jefferson for 3 days, 3 days, and 3 days, and that gave that trainer a chance to come in, work with our staff in the classroom, demonstrate, watch what they can do, watch what they want to learn. This is a couple of projects that have been generated from that. And it also gave our own technology coaches a chance to learn how Apple goes through their training. So it's neat that we've been able to pilot that. Ken and I spoke briefly to the couple of people that generated that. They're excited about it, and we're excited to be part of it. So Mrs. Antel has a couple of presentations.
Thanks. Welcome to Jefferson. These are a few of our third graders, and we have some things to showcase that we've learned in science. Recently, we did a unit on light energy, and we had each group of students became the teacher for the day. They read a book and presented the book to the class, teaching them the important information they learned in the book. So this is our first group, and their book is titled Light Strikes. I'm going to run to the computer, and they're going to share their keynote presentation with you.
Light bounces off everything. This is called reflection. Everything reflects light. Light goes through everything. This is called transmitting. Everything takes in light. This is called absorbing. Everything blocks light too, but everything also transmits and absorbs light. Look at everything around you. Light is interacting with everything you see. It is absorbing, transmitting, and reflecting everything. Light can be streamed. Light can be streamed.
district. I don't know how many years, I'll let her talk about it, but it involves an art contest with TES Fire Station. She's done this for so many years, and because this is the last chance that she's talking about this, is our last chance to hear about it from her and talk about the ordinance. So thanks, Shirley.
Well, they've been doing the TPS environmental contest for 17 years, and I've probably been doing it maybe 10, 11 years. And this year we had some really cool artists. We always have a lot of cool art, but we have some really neat posters, and we have the grand prize winner in all the county. All the county schools participate in this, and then they three kids from each school can win prizes, and then the TES business, they pick the grand prize winner, and Allison Kelly. She was the very grand prize winner from Kennedy. She's in 5th grade. You can hold up your picture. The themes are always recycle, clean water, clean energy, or clean air. So they get to choose what they want to do. Great winners from Jefferson. First place is Reed Shively. I made copies of their pictures because they take them and we don't get them back. There you go. Congratulations. And Sarah Hubert. She had 3rd place. Kids worked really hard. I only do it with 2 grades in the whole district, the 3rd grade and the 5th grade, so it's kind of special. And I know Sarah is the daughter of Mr. Huber here, and on their poster, we didn't know whose poster it was, but they always have to put a number so that they don't know whose it was, because they want to pick them because of the art. So, and I really enjoyed working with all these kids over the years, almost 26 years, so I'm happy I could be part of this.
Thank you, Steve. I just want to congratulate Julie. She's earning a well-deserved retirement. We loved having her in the classroom. She's brought so many experiences in art to all of our kids for so many years and done a wonderful job every step of the way. And I got to tell you, I learned something about her 2 Christmas parties ago. And that is she's a pretty dang good ping pong player. Now, she tells everybody she beats me. What that really means is she beat me 1 out of 3. So, we've got Ken Blakey, I know Paul. I'm inviting them over to my house afterwards, and we'll have maybe a doubles match. So, congratulations.
That was the exciting part of the meeting. Right now, we're going to move into public communication. This portion of the agenda is for persons addressed to the board. Public communication comment is limited to 3 minutes per individual. The comment period is only for those items that appear on the agenda. A second public communication comment period is scheduled at the end of the meeting for any items. If you have any comments you'd like to make this time, then we have okay, thank you. Student committee and student representative.
Okay, so we had a meeting on Monday, and first, like, we reiterated what the goal of our group is to do, and first, we wanted to emphasize that our group is getting the students' input. School, environment, part about it, talking about it, and we're also emphasizing getting like cross-sections from different people, like different types of different groups of people, just to get a variety of things, I guess. But we're also going to continue this committee for next year. And so for next year, we started to list out some things that we want to do. And one of them is to get new freshmen and sophomores to the group, because we do have a strong junior class and senior class. So we also want to gather more input, like we did for the survey. We want to assume more of a leadership role in our school and send emails from the community and communicate better within the community as well as the student body. We would also like to attend our leadership conference with the group. And then we listed out some things that we really want to remember for our next year's meetings and what we want to work on next year. One of the things is we really want to recruit more students into our group. Right now, we have a fairly small group, and that's when like not everyone attends all the time. We have about 12 people on a good day, and there's about 15, I think, in the group. And we also wanted to think about next year maybe possibly having a spirit week during May and call it MHS Mayhem. And then for September, we want to have our birthday board list ready to go, so we can put the birthdays of the MHS and MMS students on there and change it out once a month. And I will have a new board partner with me since mine is graduating, and I will be carrying on. And we thought about being able to swipe our ID badges with our picture on it to pay for lunches, instead of having to remember that number, because I know when I get up there, sometimes I'm like, what's my number? And they're thinking about making another class hour, but I think a lot of the students would rather keep their seminar time, because at the end of the day, that's a good time to do homework for people, Wi-Fi at home, do their homework, to work on other stuff and not be getting more homework in that last final hour.
Excellent if you're doing your homework and getting prepared and organized for next year. That's great. We'd like to recognize Allie this year. She worked very hard, keeping us informed of what students were thinking and what their groups were thinking, and I think she's led that very well. And I think we're all very pleased to have her here every meeting.
We have a couple of things. Ken, you want to join us? Ken has done the leadership of the committee. We appreciate that. And we have a couple of things to present to Allie. Maybe Ken can get a picture of us. We have a big thing, Allie.
It would have just a little bit.
We have a letter of appreciation signed by myself and Board President Wehrmeister, and we also have a certificate from MASB for a Distinguished Leadership Award. So please hold that, and we'll smile like that. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
To the superintendent correspondence and report.
We're going to start with the Manistee Intermediate School District budget presented by Superintendent Jeanette from the Manistee ISD.
Thanks for having me tonight, and I know you have the budget in your packet. I just want to emphasize a few things. You probably know probably about 15 years ago, Oakland County ISD got a little trouble with spending money inappropriately. And ironically, they were spending special ed money inappropriately, but somehow through the legislature, local districts now have to review our general ed budget and not our special ed budget. So, it's one of those that go figure. So, you have our general ed budget in front of you. Just a few things. You see an increase. Of course, the state hasn't approved the state aid budget yet, but we've been told that we're going to see an increase in Section 81 funds, which is a 1.6% increase. So we're expecting a little bit of a bump from the state, much like you are. You see some variations as you go down with instructional staff support from last year to this year, and that was because the northern districts went in a group purchase for math textbooks, and we paid it and then they reimbursed us, so you'll see that in the revenue above. So that's why there's a large decrease there. We're not having that. With training costs, you'll see an increase there, and then we're going to drop it this coming year. And that's because you'll remember those wonderful evenings of school advanced training, and the principals have been going through 5B plus training. So we had those training dollars via a grant this year. We won't have it next year, so that's why you see a variance there. With operation and maintenance, we prepare for the unexpected. It could be a roof, we've had some drainage problems, that sort of thing. And of course, you're probably thinking the same thing we are with that water line going out by your bus garage. At what point are we going to be asked to hook into that? And we know that this won't cover it, but we have it on our radar. And then finally, the community service dollars, you can see a big increase, and that's GSRP funding that we flow right through, but it's just a larger increase in that funding from the state. So I'm happy to entertain any questions you have with the budget.
Could you, the pupil support line, could you be a little bit more explicit on what that supports?
And I know truancy, but pupil accounting, that's one of those that we do for the local districts. But let me just, it's pupil auditor and just the benefits that go along with that.
Any other questions?
If you have any questions, be sure to just shoot them towards me at MASC. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. MCOE 2020. That's okay. We continue to explore education opportunities in Manistee County. We do a lot of discussion lately related to career tech and what opportunities exist for our students locally and what opportunities lie in other opportunities outside our county. So it's a continuous concern or point of discussion. Also, we have other groups that join us at MCOE 2020, and we've had discussions from Baker College and West Shore Community College join the group. The Chamber of Commerce is there, and recently we've been discussing the leadership group from the Chamber of Commerce, and that's been a great experience for myself, and I know the rest of that cohort, the first cohort for the leadership group. And this past month, we were able to do a kind of a historical visits to a couple of sites, and we were able to the bed and breakfast in town. I had it right here, Dempsey House. It's amazing the collection of items in that home and what they've done to that home. It's just amazing. We had a great visit and a big discussion related to the historical things in the home and the impact of that home in the Victorian age for the community. Very nice visit. We went to Audubon Society home out on the lake shore, bird sanctuary. What a gem and treasure that is. Sequoia trees in the yard, very impressive. And this is all great stuff being new to the community and the group being very new. It's just a good experience, and we made our way to the Bottle House. Who's been to the Bottle House? Very, very cool, and it's Scandinavian history to the community. It was very rich experience. So we're wrapping up this leadership group, and it's been a great experience. We've been working with Habitat for Humanity and increasing their exposure in the community and trying to get them some support, and it's been a great experience. Launch Manistee joins us, and that is Marianne Bean is the director of that, and we've been talking about preschool scholarship opportunities, commitment scholarships, FAFSA completion has been a big push in the high schools related to filling out financial aid forms for going on to college. The percentage increase in the amount of students participating in that has really increased over the last couple of years, and we're increasing. Marianne continues to increase the goals for that completion, and we're also Reach Higher grant letter from Betsy Valley Community Center, Family Health Fair at MCC on April 23rd, Early Childhood Luncheon on April 29th, so it's very exciting things that Launch has got going in the community. MyWorks is part of that group, and Cheryl, the director, talked about robotics, shared with new hot jobs report, added info on Beaver Island graduation and West Shore Community College tour and potential Manistee County Manufacturing Day in October. So we had great opportunity to meet monthly with the group, as you know. Manistee reported out our success with Science Olympiad, making the state finals, the forensics making finals, our video production success, Wrestling My Way success, and the Kiwanis sponsored a student for public safety, and all the things that we spoke out in behalf of Manistee area public schools.
If I may just clarify, you just talked about wrapping up and still it is still ongoing.
Yeah, we're wrapping up the leadership chamber group. Yep, the first cohort here is complete, and we'll be doing a debriefing and social sometime in June, and we'll be done. And they'll be starting a second cohort. Duke is part of the group. Anything you'd like to add?
One of the things that I picked up, and I don't know if it's something that we did with a lot of the out-county schools are doing the robotics. Where they go in and compete with other schools, and maybe that's something that we could look into, maybe bringing to MAPS if we haven't already, or if we haven't tried it yet.
I had heard a lot about that. I know I've been talking with other kids who are going to Michigan too, and there's a lot of people who are involved in FIRST Robotics, and it's become popular. I know there's teams in Brethren, and like it's becoming
Yeah. I think it's something that'd be worth exploring over the summer to see if it's viable.
Sounds good. And Duke also, in reporting out, the night lock system installed in MAPS and all the elementary schools has been completed, so we were able to report that out as great success. Personnel report? We have resignation and retirements listed. And we have our coaching positions listed. We have on the personnel report, one full-time music teaching band director position. And multiple teaching positions are posted there. The elementary, physical education, special education, and we are wrapping up our elementary vocal music position posting also. Is there any discussion on personnel report? So just maybe a highlight, Tom Madison joined us. I'm sure that may be a report that we'll hear for our food service delivery driver. We're pretty happy about that. And we have a couple of retirements, bus drivers that are on there, and I know we'll be talking about them in the future too. All right.
Included in the packet was this month's finance report. I don't know if anybody had any questions on that. Kind of an unusual year this year, in that we haven't had a mid-year budget adjustment, but we have not had anything happen that necessitated that. We've had some adjustments. Yeah, thank you. Knock on whatever you can. We've had some adjustments go one way, but they've been offset by others going another way. So things look to be on track. That's not to say that we won't have the year-end cleaning that we always see at the end of the year. We're going through kind of an internal audit process where we're making sure that we have all of our staff accounted properly, people that are being reimbursed for federal programs, we're tracking them accurately. When we get all that cleaned up, we'll have some adjustments, and there's always a little bit of movement within our line items. A couple function areas that I've mentioned before that we're watching are the 219s and the 111s. No, it's not. It's the vocational area, 121, I believe it is. We know that we're likely going to have an adjustment there. We have more students attending those vocational programs that we went down and visited than what we had originally budgeted, but it's very minor. We're talking maybe $5,000 to $6,000 adjustment there that we'll be making. Don't need to do that tonight. have not exceeded any expenditures and won't prior to the budget adjustment. So it's kind of how it looks. It's going along pretty smoothly so far this year, and we continue to work on it, and there will be some year-end cleanup, as there always is.
Howard, just got a question. I know it's some of the percentages of the usage do those tend to be the end of the year expenses that are, we're getting almost to the end of the year?
Well, you see some variation. Some of them are running around 30% left, and those are typically areas where we're accruing a lot of pay. People, instructional areas where teachers are going to be paid during the summer, and we accrue that in, so we have a little larger balance left in those accounts than accounts like custodial or others where those people follow the school calendar year, and we don't have those accruals. So that accounts for some of that discrepancy. And then others, as I mentioned, vocational, you'll see we have all of our budget left. We haven't paid that invoice. And others, are getting, we've done everything. We have a 0.1% in debt service, but we've made our sole payment for the year.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Yeah, leadership reports, yes.
I would, this is where I asked our administrators to be engaged in conversation. And let's start with the high school. I think Ms. Rabbits has a school report, and maybe also can share health advisory board report too.
Okay. Welcome to come in the building at any time. We have lots and lots of excited seniors and lots of excited other grade levels looking forward to moving a year up. I understand there might have been a little excitement last night. Thanks for the artwork welcoming me to school this morning, class of 2016. So lots of things going on. We just had prom. It was very well attended, and I got a text on the way home from a student who said it was the most fun they've had all year. So we like those kinds of reports. This weekend it's Bandorama. We received a grant for the entire sophomore class to tour CMU on May 25th. That's coming up. Also, we got a reading apprenticeship grant. So our teachers will be part of that process this summer and throughout the year. And of course, in the next coming weeks, it's seniors, seniors, seniors. Stacy Folson gave us a suggestion that our seniors get to wear their cap and gowns and walk through the hallways of the elementary school. Our seniors really were excited about that, and so we're going to give it a try this year. Also, we welcome, tomorrow we'll welcome the county registrar for the first time to have our seniors register to vote. So just very exciting to see, and I've had these kids since 6th grade. So, and to see them now, take their walk into adulthood, it's been very, very gratifying.
Health advisory.
Oh, okay. I'll talk a little bit about the Health Advisory Board and what it does. I'm hoping we can talk a little bit more about the content at the study session later. I have with me Cassie Miller. She's our health education teacher in 7th and 8th grade, and also Caitlin Villamaria, who was one of our student representatives on the Health Advisory Board. A couple years ago, Andy actually worked with a group from the community, medical community, parents, educators, as well as members of the lay community, pastors and ministers come together, and we review the growing up units and the human health and development units, just to see if they're fitting what's going on in our community today, our community standards, and of course, a lot changes in the health community. So making sure that everything is up to date. So Cassie, I'm going to pick on Cassie a little bit. How long have you been teaching health for Manistee Middle School?
This is my 3rd year.
So, and even in 3 years, a lot has changed with our kids since the last time our board got together. So we look at data, we discuss what the outcomes of the Health Advisory Board, and really making sure that parents are the primary educators for their children when it comes to human growth and development. Caitlin was able to give us a lot of insider point of view on what it's like to be a teenager today. I know that was probably not your favorite thing to do, but I want to say thank you very much because you made that process authentic and meaningful. So thank you.
Look forward to working with the committee's report and a work session in the very near future. Thank you. Let's go, yeah, thank you.
Manistee Middle School, we're excited for the end of the year, but with that excitement comes some serious testing. MSTEP test just started for the 7th grade. It's a 3-week window. We had our first test today. Poor kids had about a 2-hour slot to take the ELA computer adaptive test, and a good majority of them needed more than that time, which we were excited for because we know they're trying hard and taking it seriously, but testing fatigue does kick in at this time of year especially. So we wish them well on that, and that wraps up here in 2 weeks. Also wrapping up was our adventure learning for our 7th grade that took place 2 weeks ago and then into last week. Our teachers like to do a nice reflective activity with their students after the adventure learning experience. And I wanted to share just one with you tonight. Mrs. Smith had each individual student respond to a couple questions. The first was, what did I learn about myself during adventure learning? The second was, what takeaways did I bring back? So they did that as individuals and they did that as a group as well. So they were able to kind of share ideas and then individualize them. A few of the responses that were highlighted for learning about themselves: I like to be independent, and in a group I like to be the leader, which we love to see that. I push myself more than I thought I could. That's a very common one. And I can do things that I'm scared to do. And if you know anything about adventure learning, a lot of what they do is up high in the sky. And if you have a fear of heights like Mr. Travis does, it helps to have that kind of teamwork camaraderie to get you up there. And when I was up there visiting one day, one student, when I first got there for the zip line, her goal was to go about this high, and then she cried, and then they supported her, and then her next goal was to go this high, and she cried some more. Long story short, she made it to the top, and got all the way down, and her tears turned to laughter, and it was good for everybody, and she was happy that she did it. Takeaways that they brought back: it is okay to ask for help, always set a goal and accomplish it and go further. Teamwork is good, and determination can get you through things. Another nice message. And I like this one: communication is key. We learned that in the classroom, on the field, or pretty much anywhere, communication is important. Another one that I think is important is encouragement. Encouraging each other makes a lot of things easier, which I think holds true to every facet of life. So I think they enjoyed the time. The weather wasn't great, but a lot of good feedback, and we hope to continue this program in years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Mr. Smuchler is here. You want to, Kennedy?
Sure.
All right.
Echo some of Jason's comments. We are mired in MSTEP testing, and it appears there are some similarities from last year to this year, where the test that is being given says 2 hours to take. There's kids, we're saying the buses are coming, and they're still taking. I mean, they're trying hard, but it's a difficult process. We've had a few kinks in it, but it's coming. We're doing our best. We're making sure everybody gets what they need. Had some field trips, but just a lot of wrapping up the school year, getting things ready for next year. Again, tons of testing going on, and we're battening down the hatches because we're starting to see that end of the year. Kind of senioritis with some of our 6th graders that are moving on to the middle school. They get kind of that same feeling when they're going on to the big kids school, which is cool, but we just got to remind them that there's about a month of school left. So, and then at Madison.
First of all, thank you for bringing.
Oh yeah,
students
I was glad that we could fit them in because I honestly I get the benefit of seeing this all the time, and you get used to it and you're like, oh wow, but it is so cool to see them from the beginning of the year till now, the growth that these kids make, it's incredible. And, I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna go back there and visit as much as possible, because I don't know what year there's more growth from the beginning of kindergarten to the, you know, the end of, even at Christmas time, just to see how they flourish. And, but they come in the office, and they'll recite poems or songs, and, every once in a while they'll come into my office and do like a special one or whatever. They do them, frequently, they come up and do them for Connie. And then towards the beginning of the year, when they're starting to read, they have little classroom sets of books in their book boxes, and when they get to a point where they can read one of the books, a lot of them will come down and read to whoever's in the office. And they you know, it's a real proud moment for them, so thank you for having them, really appreciate it. And, yeah, we're doing some field trips. Right now they're in the midst of doing like kind of the odd field trip that we do, but it's one of the best, I think, is they walk to the bank to file their credit union. And we started, they came on in and like, hey, we're right down the street, could you guys come for a field trip? We're like, all right. But the kids all get they set up the bank, they have food for them, they let them go into the vault, and then like one of the coolest things I can imagine if you're a kindergartner is you get to push the button that sucks that thing up. You know? So they all get to do that, and then they give them a golden dollar, one of those Susan B. Anthony, or whatever it is now. They all come back with a golden dollar from the bank. It's really cool. It's fun because they walk there, and I mean they get the experience of going to a bank and seeing the vaults and all the cool stuff. They love it. They're all talking about they're carrying their golden dollar. It's just a funny little field trip that we do. It doesn't take much more than about an hour to run down there. That's kind of what's been going on, and we're preparing for the end of the year. One thing I would like to mention, we were fortunate to get the laptop cart first for the NWA testing. And we were already able to get our results back, see from the first time the kids took it, and then from our results now, and we're seeing great things. So it's very, very encouraging. And I look forward to more years to come with those kind of results and being able to see kids' progress.
And your kindergarten roundup went great, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. We're doing, I think we're close to 100. So our goal is always to hit 100 before school gets out, and we're real close.
Can any of you comment with all this testing that we had going on, did we run into any technology issues? And how did the technology affect any significant technology issues, and how were they managed? Were you happy with how they were managed? And how did our technology allow us to get through this and do all this testing?
Well, I'll comment on it too, because now you guys can complain, but there's no place worse than Jefferson. We got 3 layers of testing that are happening, and so some of our kids are testing almost nonstop for 2 weeks. And so as a side note, I want to applaud Ron and the rest of the administration team. I really feel like we're leading to a streamlined assessment program. It's really going to make that simpler. It's going to be double use of data instead of having all these different layers. We can't control the state, but we do control other facets of that. And I think you'll see the state's actually going to follow our lead and lead a lot of other schools. Sorry. The technology for NWDA was the first time the first graders had an app on an iPad. So we piloted that this spring. It wasn't available last fall, and so Matt said we had to use laptop card. So we did have those initial issues. The other pieces of it were better, and all we can really do is really consider this year kind of a training year, and we'll get better at it. And the tech staff has been nothing short of great. We've had to pull in Ms. Kaminsky, we've had to pull in Ms. Scarlett, and everybody's really understanding. So were there issues? There were, but I feel like we're learning from it. We're going to be on top of it next year.
How would it be, you think, if we didn't have this technology?
It would be weeks. It'd be impossible.
Part of the issue is the state, when you get the manual, you look at it, and they give you some guidelines of what they feel the test should take, and different times, and how to schedule it and stuff. And now 2 years in a row, what they have said should be a rough ballpark figure is really not close. And so you base your testing times around there, and
blows it out of the water, you're scrambling to read, get kids tested and makeup tests, and then somebody's absent. So it's just, you learn as you go. There's no right or wrong way. You got to try your best to prepare for it, and then you have to adjust and make sure you're.
Ken,
Yeah, so overall, things went very well. You'll get little things here and there, little glitches, and staff have done a wonderful job of rolling with those and dealing with them appropriately. So, their cooperation's been huge on that. But all in all, it's gone pretty smoothly. I feel like I should knock on something. We're not there window yet. But, no significant issues at all.
And you have a dedicated person from IT in each of the schools?
Correct, yeah. And then when, for instance, I think it was 5th grade at Kennedy, they were the first group to end up starting. We ended up pulling over another additional tech person there to try to make sure that went as smoothly as possible. Once we kind of knew things were going pretty well, that's when we ended up relying on sort of the person that's dedicated to each building.
do you feel what we have with tech has really contributed to the success that we've had?
Definitely. Yeah, it's been really nice. All the different, both as far as the hardware the students are using, the management stuff we've got sort of on the back end, it's made it go, for all things considered, very smoothly.
I don't know how we would do this.
Yeah, we had 400 students testing on April 13th, and we had only 5 kids that couldn't get through on that day. Everybody got in, everybody got started, and those are some pretty phenomenal statistics, so thanks.
We have athletics. Andy didn't give a building report, but he kind of.
Go on field trips.
All right.
They're good ones. If you want to go, we'll take you.
How about athletics? What do we want to do?
Since our last meeting, the 350 Club had their spring dinner, and many of you were there, and they wanted to express their thanks to everybody that contributed. It was their best dinner ever. They made more money, of course, than they did the previous year, so that's always a good thing and a wonderful event, and they're already planning for next year. Summertime, we're getting ready to do a lot of camps again for the younger kids at Manistee High School, so your kids will have a lot of opportunities to participate in sport of their choice, different type of camps going on all summer long. And spring sports, as you can see, the weather's nice today, and we had no events. Except the tennis team did end up going down to Ludington today, but they were done before the sun came out. So, but to give you an example of spring sports, you see Allie over there. You see her face is red. That's not tan. That is windburn from the north. She's a catcher, and our softball field faces the north, and she has to face the north for all those winds. So. We're getting through it. We do have one tournament event coming up. Our girls soccer team, by luck of the draw, we are hosting the first round of the districts, which is one game. But other than that, we don't have any other tournament games this summer, or this spring. So we're going to try and finish up with some warm weather.
Quickly, food service.
Food service, Ray Rubel, who's been driving our delivery truck for over 10 years, has retired. Spent more time with his wife. And we hired Tom Madsen. We're very lucky to have him. We're going to give him some little extra jobs besides some food. So he's done a great job. Other than that, sack lunches. Transportation, we have 3 people retired, Cindy Settlemeyer, Danny Lindemann, and Mary Jo Kaiser. They're all retiring this year. One thing the state has done is they can work as many hours. They consider that commodity that there's not a lot of people to work at. They can work as many hours after they retire. So we do have them coming back. They're willing to sub, which is great. We're working on transportation software is up and running. We haven't input anything, but on June 3rd, we're having our first training, so that should help. Lots of trips going. If you know anybody that wants to drive a bus, please have them call me because we're short. Everything's going great.
All right, it's good. Technology. You may want to lead into, I think you're the last one too, so you may want to lead into your Apple report.
So, as you've heard, a lot of the M-stepping and NWA and things like that, that's been a major focus recently. Also a lot of planning for the upcoming year. We've got a cabling job coming up. We've got the Apple purchase and some of the other things that are associated with that. So leading right into the Apple purchase, unless you guys have some other questions. Okay. You got a lot of information in your packet as far as the specifics of the purchase. We're looking at approximately 200 MacBook Airs, 200 of the iPad Airs, 450 of the iPad Air 2s, 6 iPad Pros. That's something that we ended up piloting. We've kind of cycled that around for a few different math teachers, and I've gotten really positive information back. You guys may have seen ads for those, but it's a little bit bigger iPad, and they make a special, like, super duper stylus called the Apple Pencil. It makes it very easy to end up writing on the screen. This really helps for teachers to really be able to utilize the projector in their classroom, and basically put a problem up, they can work through it, they can make a movie of it while they're doing it. There's a lot of different applications to that. So that's one of the things we're looking to expand across all of the secondary math teachers. So then there's also the Apple Pencil on there, and the one thing we don't have 100% firm pricing on yet is the cases for the iPads. That's the STM Deluxe case, or that's what DUX would stand for. But that's a case we piloted at Madison with the kindergarten ones, the classroom ones, and they seem to have held up really well. They had very few broken screens or any other issues. So based upon that experience, we're looking to end up expanding that. Some of the fabric cases that we've currently been using, once they start to get near the end of their 3-year lifespan, they're starting to get frayed and not hold up quite as well as we'd like. So I'm optimistic about this other case design. So any questions about hardware or anything along those lines?
I was also planning to offer, a study session for small group. If there's board members that would like to dig into this, get a little bit more information, that Ken and I and Howard would be available to schedule a meeting. If there's 3 board members at a time, we can do that at any time. If you're interested, I'll be sending out an email and a schedule. So just sign up if you're interested, we'll balance that out. And we want to have this on the agenda potentially in the future, but I want a most informed decision makers moving forward, okay? All right. So we'll be sending an email out related to that schedule, and we can sign up and make it convenient for you, okay? Sounds good.
I just got one question. The MacBook Airs, are they the 128s or the 256s?
128. We've ended up using 128 gig ones in recent years, and that seems to be a nice size. So students can work within that.
I have a question, but it's not Apple related. We talked about phones this one time.
Basically, that got deployed over the course of the summer. So far, it's gone very, very, very well. The big thing we've ended up seeing from is we've been able to end up reducing the number of POTS lines, the analog lines that we're using throughout the district. I don't remember the exact number. Approximating it, it's somewhere around 12 lines, and we pay around $40 per line per month, to give you a perspective on the savings on that. So that's been a really, really, really big asset. Everything seems to be going very smoothly with the phones. ISD has been a great partner on that, super responsive if we need any changes made, or if there's an issue that comes up, they're right on top of it. So that so far has been a really, really well rolled out project.
Any other questions? Okay. Meetings,
Collaborative classroom making meaning. We have been reviewing ELA curriculum with a group of teachers and administrators, and it's been a really great experience for me. I hope it has been for them. We kind of got to liking a particular product. It is from Collaborative Classroom, and it is a product called Making Meaning, Being a Writer, Being a Reader. And we took a group of teachers, and they, on their own time, on their own evening, 5 schools in the Detroit, Metro Detroit area, and did a site visit to see the curriculum use in the building. And just felt it was a great experience. First of all, it's nice to get out of your own building and go and see what other people are doing. It's very rewarding for an administrator and a teacher for that experience. And we also, secondly, saw, I think we were reinforced with what we felt with the product, watching it in action, being able to talk to the administrator of the building, and watching the lessons being implemented in the classroom, I thought went very well. And Kevin and I went. Ruth was there. Can I steal your thoughts for a moment on that experience?
Boy, oh boy. Impressed by the program, impressed by the behavior of the children we saw, the buy-in of the teachers and the administrator. Looking forward to seeing what other people next.
I'm glad you brought up that it has a large community building and behavioral component to the curriculum. And I think that is a bonus, and it fits so well with construction and classroom environment. So we're pretty excited. Kevin had a meeting last night with the ELA and classroom teachers, and I think we got all thumbs up to move forward with this. And I then brought Howard in. And I told Howard it was grossly expensive, and then I showed him that it was reasonable, and so he was happy and happier. And so we'll be looking at this in the future, and we'll be getting a early elementary reading program. We will be getting a writing curriculum program, and also a reading, and it's mainly focused on comprehension reading. And we're pretty excited about it. I'll be continuing to work with Howard and see how the budget might work for this type of purchase. I'll be communicating to the board in the future the status of moving forward.
Are we looking to have that implemented by next fall?
Yeah, if it works out, I've been talking to, we have to do this with a lot of teacher support. So we've been talking to the organization group about professional development moving forward. So they will get a rollout, potentially a rollout professional development. First, we're trying to get the materials in the teachers' hands as soon as possible. And then as we get closer to the beginning of next school year, we'll have a scheduled professional development. And then I would like to see the provider, PD, come back throughout the year and sit with our teachers in the classroom and modeling and getting feedback related to the lessons. So they have instruction embedded professional development with this. And I think we do that for a couple of years to make sure that the implementation is being done, and that there is a clarity of the curriculum, and that there's good, strong support moving forward. We're always looking, when we have a purchase like this or a commitment like this, we're looking for it to be done with fidelity, and that's what we'll be looking for. But it has to come with proper support.
Anybody else have any questions? We have a couple of overnight trips.
Yep, we just keep you guys informed. Forensic team turned in their overnight things. And also golf is heading to the Lansing area for a golfing event. And they've turned in their information, and their information was filled up and completed. And I signed off on those, so I just want to keep you informed.
And there's the community articles and correspondence.
Throughout the week, or month, we like to send you information and articles, and thank Nancy for keeping us informed and so forth. And is there any questions on the information that's been provided? And again, we had great, I just like bringing it up because it was such a good memory, going down to West Shore Community College and having the experience of the Career Tech Center there. I know I was wowed on both the college and the Career Tech. Very exciting, and they are working very hard in both of those entities to do the best they can for our students and others in the area. So,
And we're going to think about putting that as a meeting place too?
And it might be an idea at least to do it once a year, to go down and have a board meeting at the West Shore Community College, if not the Career Tech Center too. And we're looking forward to the agricultural program that we're building too. I think that's going to be awesome. And again, as always, appreciate the coverage that we got from the newspaper and specifically Ken. So thank you.
Were your feet sore, Ken, after walking all that? True. Old business, track update?
Yeah, we are continuing to forge ahead on our fundraising efforts, and things are what they are with that, and we continue to make some progress. Now we're at the point of looking at, I communicate, of getting bid documents to get an understanding of the true cost here. And we're also need to be thinking about scheduling as we move forward. And we have limited space, so it's very important that we consider, I think Howard said it correctly, you want to make sure your detour is done before you start the main road. And what he meant by that, as we talked, is that we have enough practice area and facility area, outdoor green space to accommodate our football programs, our MRA. So we have to do an evaluation of, as we look at construction of a green space, what other green spaces are available or need to be improved for those entities to not have much or any disruption to that. So.
Foresight probably has experience in that.
Yes, Foresight has experience at that. We are scheduling a track committee update meeting. I think it's May 23rd, and that we're also scheduling Foresight to be here during the day, so we can look at what options exist with green space. And of course, we're looking on top of the hill, the old track area, the infield of that area, what work or what might need to be done to create that as a designated practice MRA site. I think we're really interested in getting that into a usable piece of property there for us. And then we'll also be talking about schedule and getting bid documents together and a little update on our fundraising. We're moving forward.
Is your date set up for the bids?
No, we're talking about getting with them to create some bid documents. We have not, want to talk to him and brainstorm and use his expertise on when is a good time for these documents to hit the market for our best chance for pricing. So we will talk to him about that.
I was thinking that time is kind of the essence for getting it out sooner rather than later.
Yep.
Yes, that's what he says.
And I started fundraising, so we continue to do that. So we have some goals that need to be met in the meantime too.
Any other questions?
You might want to mention the pancake breakfast. That's
Yes, the Kiwanis Club seems to be letting, I don't know if temporarily or permanently, the pancake breakfast during the forest event. And so we were thought of picking it up, and I'm very gracious for us being thought of. And so we will be hosting the pancake breakfast. Thank you, Kathy, for saying we will help. That, I couldn't have done it without you. Sherry Weirmeister brought the opportunity before us, so thank you, Sherry, very much. And we will be moving forward with planning, so we've already got some thoughts. Any update, Sherry? Any update, Sherry? Any update on pancakes? All right. Thank you. But looking forward, hopefully it'll turn into a long-term thing that we can use those funds to designate to the track for upkeep, management, and new things for the track. I think it'll be a great revenue source for us, but it'll also be a great community event for the school to be involved in. Looking forward to that. So we'll be talking and working with Kiwanis moving forward to see how they feel about that.
Good mention, Duke.
Thank you.
Future work study sessions, topics, and goals.
Well, I may be suggesting that we have our May work session to be focused on potentially a meeting for us to review and potentially approve our technology. So I think that will be necessary for our schedule as we move forward to do that in May. Tuesday the 24th. Sound good? All right. It's a very important decision for us, so I think it's deserving to have a designated meeting.
Business action items next. Items A, B, C are our board meeting minutes and closed session minutes and study session minutes.
I would like to make a motion that we approve 2 sets of minutes from April 13th, our regular board meeting minutes, and then the closed session that I handed you on the Zoom sheets prior to the meeting, and then our April 25th work study minutes, please.
A motion by Shelley. Support by Chris. Any discussion? All in favor? Yes. Thank you. Motion's passed on A, B, and C. Accounts payable approval report.
I'd like to make a motion to approve expenditures for the months of April and May of a total of $622,980.95.
Thank you. We have Dr. Antal in the motion. Supported by Shelley. All in favor? Yes? Yes. Motion passes. Thank you. We up for action approval, the intermediate school district general education budget that Superintendent Jeanette presented us. I do have a question to Mr. Jeanette. What would happen if we did not pass this?
You would just simply have to give us an explanation why. It doesn't call to anything at the ISD. It just gives the local district an opportunity to vote yes or no on. Basically transparency.
Okay.
So that ISD can get the budgets in front of the local districts. They have a statewide.
Thank you.
Just discussion, I guess how I look at it is just noting that we've been given this, basically, this level, not necessarily looking at the individual testing technology that we don't see from where we are that anything has been done on.
Okay, so it's an action item. Need for a motion to approve or
I would so move to approve the resolution.
motion by Dr. Antal. Supported by Chris. Thank you. All in those in favor say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. And then we have the approval of the lawn bid. And we all have that in our packet. I don't know, Ron, you want to talk about it a little bit at all?
It's pretty straightforward. Howard led the bid process, so I'll probably go ahead, Howard.
Sure. Included in your packet was the results of the bids. And just like every audit or every financial statement, there's always the notes or management discussion and analysis. So I included some additional information for you. The kind of the abbreviated version of this is that we solicited bids, advertised them. We only had 2 companies bid. We had our current vendor, Perfect Cut, and Larson Landscape was the other bidder. When you take into consideration the discounts that we've historically received from our current bidder, the 2 are virtually equal in cost. We did our due diligence and followed up on references for for Larson's Landscaping. They have great references. People who they work for feel the same way that I feel about our vendor. They go, speaking about Perfect Cut, Phil and I both have talked about this at length, and we could not be more happy with the service that they provide. Consistently go above and beyond. They take it upon themselves to monitor the school calendar, We don't need to call them and remind them, hey, it's kindergarten roundup, and we need the lawn cut. They monitor it, they're on top of it. Sporting events, they just take care of everything. It's a very good situation for us. And with that being said, and the prices being the same, Bill and I are both recommending that we continue our relationship with Perfect Cut.
Thank you, Mark. So we have a motion for lawn bidding before us. Perfect Cut or Larson Landscape. Would like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the bid from Perfect Cut.
A motion for Perfect Cut on, supported by Chris. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Abstain.
Thank you. Motion passes. Okay, new business? New business?
Well, I wanted to go back to the agenda just a little bit to discuss MCOE 2020, a discussion on exploring education, resolution that's been provided to us a few months ago, or several, and then it was then a letter written to the board, and I thought it may be correct for us to at least discuss this, knowing that we have three options to either pick up the resolution and pass, pick up the resolution and not pass, or, as you know, the resolution was presented to us, that I communicated that we were interested in the resolution at this time, but we are continued and always interested in discussions of collaboration and thinking about benefiting the entire county, but our focus mainly on our students and community here at MAPS. And I thought maybe it's an opportunity to have as part of our minutes or part of our discussion. So I'm asking the board for some input or discussion.
I'd like to recommend that our board president respond to this now.
Okay. All right, are you, go ahead.
You know, again, we need to think about what is best for our students. We're focused on this. We're also focused on the community as a whole. That's important. We have lots of different things going on within our school system. I think we've already made it clear, kind of what our thoughts are with respect to our interactions, our willing to collaborate with other systems within our district. However, specifically putting more time, resolutions, et cetera, towards this at this point, it seems a little bit preemptive. And so I would agree with you that I would like a letter sent back to the person who had written it, of our interest to continue collaboration. We are interested, but right now,
Baccalaureate has been at St. Joseph Church, Wednesday, May 25th at 7. MHS graduation is May 28th at 7 p.m. in the gymnasium. Regular board meeting, June 8th at 7 at the Manatee High School band room. And the board work study session Wednesday, June 22nd at 6 p.m. at Kennedy. So we have quite a schedule there.
That time of year.
All right.
do you know who's the keynote speaker graduation this year? It was you. Do you know who's speaking at graduation this year?
Oh, that's
Oh.
Amanda Clemens.
Oh,
Okay. All right. This is the end of the regular meeting. We have a closed session meeting for expulsion hearing.